What's up, guys? Welcome to Grease Lightning Reactions. Yeah, this is kind of an impromptu video that I was gonna make. It's been a while since I've put up anything. It's been what, like a month, 2 months, 2 months probably, something like that. I don't know. It's been a bit. As you guys know, I stepped away for a little while to take care of a few things. Just wrapping up my graduation and everything. I'm successfully graduated. I'm in my transition period where I'm about to start residency. So these last couple weeks have been pretty chill. The main reason I'm making this video is that I've been getting a lot of replies on my videos or on Twitter, just kind of asking for things that I don't think are going to happen. So just to nip it in the bud, like this season of anime that's still airing and is about to finish, there won't be any more reactions to it, even though I'm free right now. Now, why is that? So, as you guys know, I was going through a bunch of stuff, like wrapping up things, and I was still watching anime at that time just because it was a good little outlet, little stress remover, like at the end of the day or the last thing right before I go to bed, just chill. And I'm basically caught up with everything. So, I just don't have the motivation to do the last 3-4 episodes of most of these series right now. I'd rather start fresh for the new season. So this is kind of a video to temper expectations of those of you guys that are waiting for reaction to resume, because at this point, if I had this many videos accumulated that I need to create, that would just be way too difficult for me. I've been able to watch this much anime because it's off screen. It's relaxed. I don't have to think about what I'm watching. It sounds funny, but doing live reactions, I'm much more tired and a little stressed every time I watch a reaction in comparison to just laying in bed or on the couch, just chilling, maybe absentmindedly doing something else at the same time. I do that sometimes. So it was an easy way for me to just relax. That's why I didn't record them. But I figured a good in-between would be just breaking down the things that that I've noticed about each of these shows that I've watched. So I'm just going to give some brief thoughts about each series. I thought that would be a good in-between. I know not all of you guys follow me on Twitter where I'm putting up all these thoughts and I'm giving my recommendations and everything. If you are so inclined, please do follow me there. That's the easiest way for me to communicate. I also put it up on, I guess I could also put it up on my channel where I could kind of say what I'm thinking, but I haven't done that as often. So do that if you want, but I figured for those of you guys that haven't, this would be a good way to both let you know what I've been communicating over there and expand on those things. So there's that. I opened up my anime list. If you're not following me here, you can just kind of go through the series that I've enjoyed in the past and the things that I'm watching right now. I don't keep it super updated. I just went through and updated a lot of things, but I kind of sporadically do that. So what I'm going to do is this is my currently watching list. I'm watching 10 series. There's no way in hell I would be doing 10 reactions at once, especially with how busy I was getting. This is just a good situation for me to watch a lot more than usual. So I'm going to go through one by one. This is in alphabetical order. Obviously the first one is more of a numbered thing, but for those of you guys that didn't end up watching these reactions, it's going to be a good way to recommend some of these series. And then, some of the series I'm watching, I'm not super high on as well, so I can let you guys know about that too. So, I'm going to go down the list. The first one we're going to start with is 8686. So, this was the series that I heard the most buzz about before I started this season because of, what was it, a light novel readers? Let me see. Sorry, my internet's kind of slow. Yeah, light novel series. So from those of you guys that had read the light novel, had recommended this to me. The first episode was interesting, but I think so first of all, it's a mecha series, right? There's mecha elements, it's wartime. So first of all, you need to have some inclination toward that type of genre, right? So that's the first barrier to the series. I also think the first 3 episodes or so are very like run of the mill, I'd say. The animation and everything is superb throughout. So if you guys don't know, this is made by who was it? Oh shit, I forgot now. Was it A1? Yes, A1 Pictures. They put a good amount. I think they did a good job with the art and animation in this. So it's not really from that point. It was just really like it's a slow starting to learn about each of these characters. But it could kind of blend into other series. The real kicker is about like at the end of episode 3, I started episode 4, and that's when I started really getting into the series. But just to give you a brief overview, there's this nation, the Republic of San Magnolia. I didn't even remember that. But there is this war that they're fighting this other empire, and they say that like throughout the entire time of this war, there have been no casualties. And you'll notice right away as soon as you start watching the series, there's this nation. Everyone looks very similar. They have the same color hair, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So, I mean, if you don't want to know anything else, I would just stop right there. But the core premise of this series is that these people are sitting back and chilling while there is this group of people that has been relegated as a lower status, and they're the 86. I guess that's the district of this group. I think that's the name of the entire. That's what they termed the people. They just labeled them as this number and this district. They're the ones who are piloting these mecha, and they are fighting these basically autopiloting machines, and these machines are expected to have a date when they all stop working, because the empire that originally was behind these machines is no more. So there's just this there's an expiration date for this. So they're just waiting for it to be over. And meanwhile, these guys that are like thought of as pretty much nothing, this trash, are fighting. So they don't really count them among the casualties. Right, so every time they die, they think of them as less than human, and every time someone dies in these groups, they don't really report it. They're like, "Oh wow, we've been fighting for this long. We're doing great. We haven't even lost anyone." So that's kind of the core premise. And this like silver kind of haired chick in this picture is one of the sympathizers who works with this people. She's kind of like a commander, and the core premise, I keep saying that, but like she starts to become a sympathizer, and she slowly warms up to these people, learns about them, and tries to advocate for them. But then there's a little bit of a shift about 3 episodes in, and I'm not going to spoil that, but it kind of puts a lot of things into context, and that's when it grasped me. I know that a lot of people that are watching this series are passionate about it, but I honestly like. It's not very popular. It's not, because I think a lot of people stopped watching it because of the first 3 episodes, and I think that sucks, because there is some good stuff in there. Someone, I don't remember who it is. The shout out to you, whoever it was that sent me a poll on Reddit talking about the best episode of the week, and 8-6 was like top of the week, but. If you go on Crunchyroll, if you go on the streaming services, this is a lot lower. It's like the 7th or 8th ranked, 9th or 10th, somewhere around there ranked most popular series, the one people are watching out of this season. And it's definitely not, it's not the best series it's probably like 4th or 5th for me of the season, but it's a lot lower. So that sucks. But if any of that piques your interest, I do think this is a good time. I'm enjoying what I'm watching. It's got like peaks and then valleys. It's not even valleys. It's like you get like action sequence, chill, action sequence, chill. That's kind of how it is. Like there's like some times in between where you're just getting to know about the characters in between peak warfare. So that's 8-6. I'm spending a lot of time on this, but anyways, My Hero Academia 5th season. Just kind of broad thoughts. This season hasn't been the best. I think that's pretty obvious to everyone. It is a lot lower stakes. It's not like super large character development yet either. You're learning a lot about characters that we haven't seen much of on screen at all. But so that's cool to see that stuff. And some of the main characters have improved, but there's like we've seen the stakes in this show, so like it's hard to kind of come away from this and have a chill period for this long. It feels pretty chill. But the last episode I watched just today, I think maybe it was the 10th episode. Yes, it was the 10th episode. It introduced an interesting wrinkle into the series, so I'm really curious where they take that. So that's all I'm going to say about My Hero Academia. Obviously, if you're a fan, you're watching it. So yeah, it's not bad. The artwork and animation and all that stuff, the fight scenes are pretty clean, you know, it's all good. But like compared to other seasons, it's not as good. But I've heard that in a little bit, things are about to pick up, and maybe this 10th episode was what people were talking about when it starts to pick up. So that's that. Fruits Basket, the final. I've never done reaction videos to this. It's my girlfriend's like favorite series, and then she got me into it, and I watched all the prior episodes leading up to this. I did not realize that people ranked this high. Like I do, like 8.9. That's like 19th overall on my anime list. I mean, to be honest, like the entire season has been fantastic. So I'd probably give it an 8. But that's higher than I expected. There's a lot of frustrations I have about some of the characters, but that's intentional. Fruits Basket, you know, the people that watched it when they were growing up, they're gonna love this season especially. So I'm also not gonna say too much about this. But if you don't know anything about this, they kind of take the Chinese zodiac spirits that everyone's kind of heard about by now, and they make these characters embody each of them, and the kicker is basically that, what is it, like, is it anyone or a girl? I don't remember who it is, but if someone touches them or hugs them or something, they revert back to their animal form. So they have like an animal form, and they have to be very reserved about how much they interact with the outside world. So have to be very careful until like the main character here, Toru, Honda Toru kun, she kind of introduces herself into their world, and it's kind of like almost like it's almost kind of like a spectator like us, but she becomes very involved in a lot of these situations. And this is obviously final season, so things are wrapping up, but very good series. I had no idea about it before. I'm loving my time with it, so very good if you're interested. To Your Eternity, Fumetsu no Anatae. Very interesting series. I don't know how much of this I should talk about. I think this is the show that everyone should watch of the season. Honestly, like if I was to give one recommendation, it would be this show. It is the most unique show. It's got brilliant writing. It's got really great characters. It has an entirely different art style in general. That's why I started in the first place. Like, that looks interesting. And the writer is the one who wrote A Silent Voice. So you know it's going to tug at your heartstrings. You know it's going to be well written. So that's all I needed to give this a shot. And then when I watched that first episode, I'm like, wow. I was making a reaction to the first episode. I kind of stopped it halfway because nothing much was happening. I didn't have much to say. And then like the end of that episode, I was like, wow, that's some like real emotional weight to what was going on. And I continued. I'm only 5 episodes in, and there's 7 out right now. But yeah, like I'm not gonna say too much, but some crazy things happen. A lot of emotional things happen. Like all kinds of stuff is happening on here. It gives you, I know this is kind of cliche as well, but it gives you a very much like a Ghibli vibe, like a Princess Mononoke or like a Nausicaa. I don't know. It gives me that kind of vibe. It's really good. It's really, really good. And like no one that I've seen watch it has anything bad to say about it. So that's all I'm going to say. I would recommend just going into the first episode blind and just watching it. It is pretty slow in that first episode, but once you get going, you're going to get hooked. Okay. So if I had one request from all of you is if you haven't watched this, I highly recommend you give this show a shot. I'm fairly certain like the majority of you guys will enjoy the show. So it's really good. So To Your Eternity. All right, so here we go. Here's the first show. I don't know why the colors are inverted like that. Anyway, ignore that. It's supposed to be green. I guess it's because it's viewing this as a green screen. Anyways, this is a series that isn't that great. I'm just gonna say it. Higehiro, after being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. So I was intrigued by the premise. I was like, what? And I watched the first episode and I'm like, okay. And I just continued watching it. So it's about a late 20s, I think mid to late 20s guy that is working, it's not like a 9 to 5, but he works like an office job. On the way home one day, after being, I think it was the night he got rejected by his crush, he comes home and he finds a girl who is just on the street by herself under like a lamppost. And he kind of asks her, hey, what are you doing? You know, like, shouldn't you be home? This is a high school girl. And she's just kind of chilling. And she turns to him, basically offers her body to him for a place to stay. So obviously red flags right away, right? So older guy, high school girl, not good. Okay. But the characterization of this guy is done very well. And it's not like taken in a direction where I would have stopped immediately, right? There's one episode where I'm like, you really didn't need to show this kind of stuff. You already talked about it, and I thought it was distasteful. But I just wanted some romance series, and I was really interested where they would end up taking this, and so I just continued watching it. I don't think it's anything super special. It's kind of okay, but it has the potential to be really bad if they take it, in a certain direction. So if that is interesting to you guys, I should say, like, the main guy is just trying to help her understand that she's worth more than she believes. She's run away from home. She's been using this method to find places to stay, and it's his feeling that she needs to respect herself and understand that there are other ways to do things. That, she has so much potential and all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of the way they take it. So if that's something you guys care about, that's something to watch. The worst show I'm watching this season. I was watching this with my girlfriend too when we started, and I've just continued because I'm like, okay, I just want to see where this ends up now. So koi kimo, so love is gross. It's too sick to call this love. Okay, I guess that's the official English translation. But another romance series. I haven't watched a romance series in a long time. I know a lot of you guys wanted me to do romance series after I did a few on the channel. Akagami no Shirayuki Hime, Snow White with the red hair. That was a good one. I did reaction to Suki ga Kirei, like the moon is beautiful. That's probably my favorite one I've done. These two do not fit in that category. This one's about an older guy, also after a high school girl, much more distasteful. Like, he's like creepy. He's like a stalker. He won't accept being told no. It's like, yeah. I don't even know why I kind of continued watching this, but I did. I do think like the main girl is interesting. She's funny. The guy, besides the creepy stuff, he can be funny sometimes. So I think that's the main reason I kept going, and I wanted to know where this went. So I'm still watching it. I'm 9 out of 12 episodes in, but this is not something I would recommend. I would not. It's got some interesting love triangles and stuff going on. So yeah, if that's up your alley, I don't know. There it is. Okay, so I'm not gonna say too much about this. Nomad, Megalo Box 2. This is my favorite anime airing this season. You can't really watch this without watching season 1. I wouldn't even if you were interested in watching this season 1 at all, I would not read the synopsis because it gives away what happens in season 1. But Megalo Box is it's like a legacy project for Ashita no Joe, if you've ever heard of it, a legendary series that I never read or watched, which it's on my to-do list. But it's about Joe, who is a boxer, and his rise to fame, his struggles with family and friends. It's like one of the most multifaceted shows out there, especially the second season. It like deals with like loss and diversity and like predatory behavior. Like I don't think there's like To Your Eternity is the one I recommend most, because this, you need to have watched the first season. But I love this series, man. Like I enjoy every episode I've watched of this so far. So I'll say those of you guys that watch Megalo Box 1, I love the direction they're taking it, going through all these struggles. And yeah, honestly, my favorite show of the season so far. So I'm not gonna say too much about that because sequel. So One Piece, I'm still reading it. I'm caught up to date on the manga, but I do have to say, I don't think there is anything better animated airing. Like, it's so surprising that like something that's been running for this long, we're 975 episodes in, and like, how long has Wano been going on? Like, I can't believe the quality of this. Like, it's movie quality. I don't understand. Like, how do they do this? It's crazy. Like, I'm caught up to date with the manga. I don't regret it at all. But, oh my God, the anime is going in. And it's going in at the right time. So, man, what a treat to One Piece fans, man. I don't think, like, Naruto never had this level of animation. Bleach never had this level of animation. What else? Like just... I don't think any other long-running series, besides Hunter. Hunter is like an exception to like everything. Hunter had this level of animation, but it's insanity. I'll say that. Okay, 2 more to go. So Tokyo Revengers. I am really enjoying the series. It's not like the best thing ever, but I find it highly enjoyable. So this, I think everyone that has heard about this has likened it to Erased, right? If you guys have watched Erased, like a time travel type of situation, basically the main character ends up in a situation where he ends up back in time and is tasked with preventing the murder of his ex-girlfriend, basically. Someone who he had left behind. And it's interesting because there's a lot of back and forth. It's not like you go back, you change everything as you go, and then you end up at the right time. It's a back and forth. There's like, it's like butterfly effect type, right? So like, they don't really show the other timelines or anything. They haven't delved into that, but like, he'll do one thing, he'll come back, he'll realize something happened, and he'll have to go back and prevent something that led to this new thing that he's learned about. Like, okay, I did this. I thought that would fix this. Little did I know, and when I'm back in the present, this has happened. Like, what the heck is going on? So, it's interesting for sure. The main character he's okay, but I think like the gang members, there's a lot of gang activity. He used to be like a gang member when he was young, kind of quit that life. But he kind of gets pulled back into that world to prevent the murder of this girl that he did really like, but through circumstances had to leave. So Tokyo Revengers, very good. I think it's very enjoyable. It's by Leiden Films, so they do a good job. So here we go. Last one. Also one of the best of the season. So Vivy, Fluorite Eyes Song. Very interesting. I saw this on, was it Netflix? No, it was on Crunchyroll when I first saw it. This kept popping up. I'm like, I don't know why this keeps popping up. Like, the name of the show doesn't sound interesting. This image doesn't sell the show at all. Like, not at all. But it's about AI. So I'm huge into sci-fi. I love the repercussions of like super advanced AI. So this is a world where AI are very dominant, and you're following this AI who is tasked with being a singer to bring joy to people's lives by singing. Each AI has a mandate, basically. They have one mission and one mission alone. And they have to do everything in their power to accomplish this mission. For her, it is to sing and brighten the lives of those people that she's singing to. So, she's kind of like absent-mindedly doing all this kind of stuff. And one day, this teddy bear that's in the picture shows up and tells her that there's going to be some crazy stuff happening, and that AI is going to lead, the advancement of AI is going to lead to the downfall of mankind. And he basically tasks her with preventing this from happening. So he's an AI sent from a future timeline to fix this situation. And, you know, it kind of proves himself to her, and they kind of explain it that, like, without people alive, she can't brighten people's lives. Like, how are you going to accomplish your mission if everyone's dead? And that's kind of how they reason out, like, this songstress is going to be the one who is capable of doing this, because if any other AI didn't have, like, reasoning to do this, or it was against their mission, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's against their programming. But it's very interesting. It goes through a lot of different what if scenarios, you know, like, you know, marriage with an AI, over reliance on AI, the concept of life and death with an AI. Like, they go through a lot of things. You know, like, can an AI commit suicide? Like, it's very interesting. Like, it asks a lot of interesting questions, and the main character is very likable. She's very interesting, and it's very, like, episodic. Like, each scenario will be approached by her in a different way, and they're like different environments, and you're hopping through different years and timelines. Not even like, it's not even time travel. It's like a certain amount of time has passed between these episodes. But you know what? It's done by Studio Wit. You know what this series really reminded me of those first few seasons of Attack on Titan, because the animation is so good. And if they do, you guys remember in Attack on Titan when they did those brilliant looking eyes, you know, this super high detail, like interesting, like what is it, like a filtering effects on those close up eyes, whether it was the Titans or the close up of humans. They do this with the AI and all the gadgets and the eyeballs and stuff. And those moments, I'm like, oh my god, Studio Wit, please. You know, I'd love a Studio Mappa, but I really, like, with the last part of Attack on Titan, I really hope that they put in, like, the Jujutsu Kaisen level of effort that they did. While, you know, like, the final season of Attack on Titan was good, I think they're capable of even better. And I don't know, this just kind of reminded me of that. But great series of its own right. It's definitely one of the ones I would highly recommend. So, like, I posted this on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is Greased Reaction. It's Greased Lightning on my anime list. If you want to follow me there, there's links in the description, I believe, if you click down there. But top one would be Nomad, Megalo Box 2. Second would be what's it called? To Your Eternity. Then I would probably go Vivy, and then final one would probably be 8-6 with honorable mentions to the final season of Fruits Basket and Tokyo Revengers. That's how I would say. Just to wrap things up, I really enjoyed, what's the name of it? Snow White Notes, I believe it's called. The first couple episodes of Snow White Notes was very interesting. but it kind of let me down. If you're interested in anything musical, this one, Mashiro no Oto, it has to do with shamisen. It's like a 4-string, I think 4-string. It's like a more old school instrument, and about this guy's journey to rediscover, not even rediscover, but really light his passion for playing. And the first couple episodes are great. That first performance in that first episode got me hooked. But then I kind of thought it would be a more mature story. But they kind of like roped in high school and stuff, and I just stopped watching. So, the opening and ending, so good. Like, if you guys would just want to hear a shamisen really good, just watch the opening and ending for this. It's really nice. I've heard good things about Shadow's House, but I heard it was a super slow burn, and I watched a little bit of the first episode, and I didn't really get into it much, and I kind of stopped it without even completing the first episode, so I can't say much about it, but I've heard good things. Quadruple S Dyna Zenon, I also kind of stopped at the first couple episodes. I just had no more motivation to go through it. Super Club, if I wasn't watching so many shows, if you just want something really chill about a girl discovering her passion for something, it's probably the best like chill show of the season. I really enjoyed it. It's literally about this girl discovering her love for this like a scooter, like motor scooter thing, and how she uses it as an outlet away from like loneliness and depression. It's really good. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, but like I was just like I had too much, so that's just one of the ones I stopped watching. And then I think there's one more I dropped. Oh yeah, this Nagatoro-san, another romance one I was gonna watch, but honestly, to me, that one was worse than the other two. I just didn't enjoy the bullying aspect of things. You have to like that kind of stuff, I guess, to enjoy this, but it was like really weird. I don't know. I did not enjoy that at all. And I did try this one, Sentoin Haken Shimasu. I forget what's the English name of this. Combatants will be dispatched. So Sentoin. Oh, I guess Senso, like being war, and Sento, I guess maybe warrior. Sentoin, all the warriors, the combatants. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Haken Shimasu must be dispatched. But it's written by the guy who wrote Konosuba. Love Konosuba, hilarious. None of the jokes hit for this first episode for the season. I'm like, this just feels bad. So, and it seems like that's what most people think. But if you guys like that kind of humor, I guess this is one where you'd have to watch and see for yourself if the humor's for you. But it wasn't for me. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'm not watching Shaman King, but it looks like this is really bad. Like, what the hell? I don't think I've heard too much about anything else. Zombieland, I still haven't finished that first season. I was going to catch up, but I kind of just stopped watching. I kind of want to watch Yukiko no Moriarty now, because I watched that first couple episodes, and it was pretty good. I just never finished it. Mars Red, I've heard okay things about, but look at that score. It's like horrendous. The art style is really good, and I think the openings or endings is really good. Odd Taxi, I've heard interesting things about. It just doesn't look like anime to me, so I didn't watch it. The World Ends With You. Wow, that is horrendous. That's bad. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything else. Yep. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this season. Am I missing anything? At this point, I kind of know everyone's opinions about everything, and I since I haven't been recording, I've had way more interest in starting a bunch of different series. So it's been kind of refreshing to take a little break. I don't know if I'm going to hop into the next season right away, because I am starting residency in a month, and I'll see how busy I am, and depending on that, I'll kind of move forward. It might be like normal. It might be very limited. I might do 1 or 2 series the entire season, or it might be like nothing at all if I'm that busy, you know. Especially first year when you're a resident, like you have so much responsibility and you have no time. You're working like 100 hours a week sometimes, so it's rough. So we'll have to see. Next season, I didn't think there was anything super awesome coming up anyway. I know people love Slime. I didn't finish that first season. And then the Maid Dragon, I thought of, I might end up watching that again. That first episode wasn't funny to me. So I stopped watching it, but I've heard great things. So I might give it a shot again. This is really quick, but I haven't really looked through this. But aside, like, those are the only two standouts to me. The sequel to the original, like, you know, like Mahoka, like Regular Magic High School, that last season was horrendous in my opinion. Yeah, wow. If there was ever going to be a season that I skipped, this has got to be the one. Or just be limited in. I don't see anything really that catches my attention. You guys, I mean, primarily I'd more want to hear your thoughts about the current season, but if you have thoughts about this, I might, there's a chance I might do an extended thing about this later, but we'll have to see. My Hero movie, at least, and Free, The Final Stroke, okay, and Fate Grand Order movie. Yeah, I'll probably do some of those. I guess the main things will be the continuations I'll be watching, but yeah. All right, I've been recording for 36 minutes. That's not horrible. Excuse me. But that's going to do it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Apologies for being so long away, but it is what it is. Twitter, Greased Reaction is my handle. @ Greased Reaction. My anime list, Greased Lightning. And then that's pretty much it. I don't really respond too often to like DMs. Sometimes I will, if it's like a pertinent question or something. But most of the time on Twitter, if you like respond to stuff I'm posting, that's usually how I communicate with people on there. In my anime list, if you're gonna leave a message here, I don't really like. I don't really respond to these messages. I never end up reading it. Like I never scroll down here. That's the issue. I go here, I hit my anime list, and I just update everything and I leave. So apologies for that. I accept every single person. Like, okay, I just got a friend request. I accept everyone that sends me a friend request on here. That's why I have 200-ish people on here. And I do sometimes like look through you guys' like interest too, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah. If you guys want to communicate with me, my Twitter post would be probably best, or on the channel in my comment section when I'm posting videos. But yeah, that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Alright, bye.